Hey everybody, this week we're talking about love, romance, Disney, and how to bring it all together at home. Live from the Bob Varley Studio in Orlando, Florida, this is The Trip. This is The Trip, Episode 4 for the week of February 18th, 2015. The Trip is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel, experts at helping you plan the perfect vacation, whether it be theme parks, on the West Coast, East Coast, or on the high seas. Visit them on the web at www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com. Hey everybody, welcome back. Here we are. Another week 4 of The Trip, a little show about travel, Central Florida. I'm Teresa.
And I'm Jenny Lynn. And then back in the nook over there, we've got our producer, Dustin West.
Hey, I'm here.
You've nooked him. He's in the nook.
Well, continuing with February's theme of romance, we're appealing to the Disney fans today. The reason being, for many Disney fans, Disney's not just a trip that you take 1 or 2 weeks out of the year and then you move on. It's something that you bring into your life through the whole year in order to, you anticipate this coming. So today we're going to be discussing how maybe that does or does not fit into romance, the idea of romance. Oh, look at you. Already she's starting in.
Sorry.
Anyway.
That was just her on camera for that, right? Go ahead.
I think that maybe we should get to the issue.
Yeah, I've got an issue this week. All right, I have several issues. My first issue, I want to touch back on how we started out our year and our goals. Mm-hmm. And I'm having an issue at home trying to stay on track. I've got a new technique I'm using. I pulled out all the skinnier clothes and they're laying all about the house, and I just randomly try them on during the day to see if nothing's fitting, obviously, but it's motivating me to not eat as much as I want to eat, because I love to eat,
That's really great.
So when I want to, Valentine's Day, obviously I got candy and stuff because my husband loves me and he knows that's what I love, whether it's good for me or not. So but we all share in the consumption of the candy.
The partaking.
But the partaking of the chocolate.
You don't hide your candy?
No. Okay. Kelvin gets each of us a heart-shaped box of candy, okay? By the time I got home from work, Stella's candy was pretty much gone, and she had brought out little pieces that she had marked with what the flavors were that she didn't want, that she wanted to swap out of my freshly opened box. Didn't happen. Okay. So instead of when I want to go to get a piece of candy, I've been trying on a piece of clothing while I'm eating the candy. It's not working.
That's like a sad thing to be doing. Like, I got to get this shirt on. Chocolate. Chocolate.
Were you there? Because I think that's pretty much how it went. It's more like, these pants won't fit. What the crap?
Well, do you feel like it's an encouragement to you?
Oh, I do.
Okay.
I do. And I do. And I'm trying to walk at least 5 days a week. When I'm at work, I walk. It's hard to walk. I'm only home in darkness because by the time I get home, but it's starting to lighten up a little bit. So
Right.
I'm walking. Now I'm going to start with the not eating so much in the evening. So, it's a little by little. I mean, it took me 30 years to put it on. It's not going to go off in a week.
No, you're making good steps.
So, I don't know. Pasta still calls me, so I don't know.
I love
pasta. Calls to me, too.
I love pasta, yeah, but you can answer the door. I can't. Answer the phone. All right, so I have another issue also. I have 2 this week. Last week's little Harry Potter quiz.
Yes.
It did several things to me. It ticked me off. I found it exciting because I do love quiz. I have a quiz for you this week, you and Dustin.
Oh, okay.
Oh, boy.
All right, it's a Disney quiz. It's romantic quotes
Okay.
from Disney movies, and you have to tell me
Where
the
it's
movie,
from?
the year. No.
Oh, my
No.
gosh. What?
Just the movie, and if you can, who said it, okay? And wait till I finish the entire quote before you answer, because some of them you're going to know right off the bat. Ready?
Okay.
You ready, Dustin?
Yeah.
Okay. Come with me, live in my dream house. I know it's crazy. I know we've just met. Aw, shucks. You don't know me from G.I. Joe, but when I look at you, I feel like we were made for each other.
That has to be Barbie from Toy Story 2 or 3.
Is it Barbie
it
or
would
is
be
it Ken?
It would be
okay.
Ken, because Barbie goes to the...
It's his dream
Yeah.
house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Toy Story.
Right. Yeah.
3. Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yay, one
I did
for
these
one.
in voices at home, but I'm not going to do them in voices here. Okay. And I'm telling you, not a chance. You're my husband. I'm with you for better or worse.
Oh.
Were there like spousal disputes
That's
in
what I was
Disney
like.
movies?
I don't remember people being
there
married.
was.
They get married at the
Mary
end.
Poppins? I
No.
don't know.
No, Mary Poppins is not married.
Okay, think about it. You're my husband. I'm with you for better or worse. You're not going to do this without me. I'm putting those words in there.
Oh.
Come on.
Oh, you're not going to do this without me.
My favorite person is in this movie.
Who's your favorite?
No capes. No capes.
Oh. The
Oh,
Incredibles.
It's Elastigirl.
Oh, okay.
When, you know.
Yes,
Okay, when
yes.
he's being a,
Gotcha. Yeah, that is a family drama.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it really is.
it is. It has life lessons. Okay, number 3. And I can't do this one without a straight face. Okay. I was under your porch because I love you. That's not a voice.
That's so romantic.
Isn't that sweet?
I was under your porch
Because I love you.
That is Doug from
Squirrel.
Up.
Yeah,
Okay.
Doug, yes.
You're doing so well. I'm failing.
You know, I actually didn't know that one, but I just used context clues and know the
Yeah.
way that Doug talks. So
Who
I
else would be
assumed-
under the porch,
Yeah,
right?
Because I love you.
Some creepy prince. Okay. I'd rather die tomorrow than live 100 years without knowing you. Isn't that dramatic?
That's probably from Frozen. I don't know.
No, that's dramatic, isn't it?
It is.
It's very dramatic.
Say it again.
I'd rather die tomorrow than live 100 years without knowing you.
You picked really hard ones.
Beauty
Why
and the
could-
Beast.
Why couldn't you pick the ones you were reading to me last night?
Oh, she had prep. Okay.
No, I didn't.
Oh, I gave her the rejects.
She gave
I
me
gave her the ones
reject
that I didn't use
question.
last night, okay? Come on.
Living 100 years. I'm going to say.
Back to the Future.
No. It's got to be someone who had a chance at living eternally and
No,
gave
no,
it
no.
up.
Well, no. Oh, God. Pocahontas.
Oh, that doesn't fit.
I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Is that John Smith that says that?
No, Pocahontas says that. Okay, if you don't get this one, I will
I know.
slap
Like,
you,
I'm about
okay?
to lose my
I'm gonna slap
badge
you on this
as
one.
Disney fan here.
Okay, you ready? We dance, we kiss, we schmooze, we carry on, we go
Oh.
home happy. What do you say?
Yes. It's Hades.
Yes.
From Hercules.
Only
Jane.
because
Jimmy Wood.
I'll tell
Except that's not romantic.
Oh well, I thought it was romantic.
It's
he's-
manipulative.
I know,
being
but
sarcastic
isn't that what
as he
romance
says
is? And I knew you
All
were
right,
going to
that's
get this in
valid.
because when we were on the cruise, every time I come into the stateroom, Jane Lynn's watching this movie.
I love Hercules. I want to be Megara.
Okay, well, okay. How about this one? And I've not seen this movie. My husband gave me this one. Kisses would be nice, yes? It's his favorite Disney movie.
Snow White? I don't know.
my
Talking to the dwarves?
No.
Kisses would be nice, dwarves.
Oh my God, did I make it too hard?
Yeah, you made this
Yeah.
really obscure.
This is Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I've only seen
Naveen.
that once.
I've never seen it. Okay, if you don't get this one, people, I'm walking out the door, all right?
Goodbye.
I was thinking about the first time I laid eye on you. How
Oh.
pretty you look.
Mike Wazowski.
Yes,
Thank you.
exactly. Yeah.
I was getting worried. God. I've been dreaming of a true love's kiss.
Aurora? Or Rapunzel? Or Sleeping Beauty?
Well, this is a live action movie. That's where I took it.
Enchanted.
Oh,
Enchanted,
yeah, I was
thank
going to
you.
say
So,
Enchanted.
Giselle or
Jezebel.
Jezebel.
That's
Jezebel.
one of her songs.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's Jezebel.
Oh, dear.
Gosh, this is just so depressing. Okay. All right, I'm going to give you a hint right off the bat. This is from a recent movie, okay?
Oh, see, this is. Oh.
Love is putting someone's needs before your own.
Olaf.
Thank you.
Good
Frozen.
job, Dustin. I'm glad Dustin's taking this quiz. Apparently, I'm not as romantic as I once
Wow.
thought I was.
I would melt for you, or whatever it says
I
about
just-
melting.
I've lost all respect for you. Okay.
Oh, if you start
next
quoting
one.
Anne of Green Gables, then
Well,
we'll
that's not. Let me quote the Waltons for you. For it's as plain as anyone can see, we're simply meant to be. This is from a song, I believe.
I was going to say, it sounds like a song lyric.
That's a song lyric for sure.
Sing it again.
Well, I can sing it.
Sing it.
For it's as plain as anyone can see, we're simply meant to be. Real skinny dude. Incredibly thin.
And it's a new movie.
No, this one's not one. That was the
Oh.
last one.
I don't know.
Stella's favorite. It's a Tim Burton movie. Come on, people.
Oh,
Jack
Nightmare
Skellington?
Before
Yeah.
Christmas.
Okay.
Never seen it, actually.
All right. 4 more. You ready? It's for you, darling. Merry Christmas. Oh, my God.
You're not. These are like really obscure.
Well, I had to make it hard. 'Cause I didn't want you just like blurting out all the answers.
Is it 101 Dalmatians?
Close?
Okay.
Lady
Lady
and the Tramp.
Okay.
It's a dog movie. Okay, this one I know you're gonna get. Eva.
Wally.
It's Wally.
It's just wrong. Okay, here's one that you might get.
Okay.
I didn't classify this as a Disney movie, but Grace told me it actually is now.
Okay.
I love you, and then he says, "I know."
It's Star Wars. It's Han Solo and Empire
Yeah.
Strikes Back as he's going into the chamber for carbon freezing.
Best. That is such a good scene.
Ad-libbed by Harrison Ford on
Oh
the spot.
my gosh!
Wow.
Yeah.
I swoon at that part.
Even
of
though
the
he's
movie.
aged, I still love him.
And
okay.
then Chewbacca goes,
I'm loving these little voices we're
Wow,
getting.
that's awesome. Okay, and the last one. You're the one I've been looking for.
Flynn Rider.
No,
No. Oh my
Hans.
gosh!
no.
You're the one I've been looking for.
She rescued him,
Oh,
drag him up on. Yeah,
Ariel.
It was Eric. Yeah.
Ah.
Wow, that wasn't as much
Should've
fun
been-
as I thought it was
should-
going to be.
No. Wow. It was hard. I failed.
No, it was
see.
fun. It was just difficult, you know?
Well, some things in life are difficult. And you made me take the freaking Huffalump quiz last time.
I ended up being a woozle, to be honest.
Oh, I finished taking it. What was I? I told you.
You are Ravenclaw
I'm a
right there with
Ravenclaw.
me.
You're
Smart.
What does that
You're-
mean?
You're smart
It sounds-
and you're
It
clever.
means you're very clever and witty,
Okay.
very
what's my color?
very knowledgeable.
Blue.
Blue.
Oh, I like blue.
blue and silver.
Yeah.
So,
We're in the same house, sister.
And with me, we're all Ravenclaws then?
That's right.
wow.
All right.
Ravenclaw represented.
Well, cool. You need to brush up on your Disney quiz.
Apparently so. So I'll be working on that. In the meantime, how about we get to a little bit of trip talk?
All righty.
It's not working. That's okay. Go ahead.
That's all right.
One of these days we'll get this.
That's all right.
Hang with
It's all
us, guys.
good.
All right. So our social challenge last week, what we sent you all to Twitter. Instagram, so that you all could post your pictures of what you were doing, whether it was locally or otherwise, on Valentine's Day. we have a few that we wanted to share from you.
Sorry.
April Wish 8. She pulled out the big guns and posted a picture of her plane tickets going from Tijuana to La Paz, Mexico.
That's pretty cool.
I know. Wow, that was a biggie. Then there was XX Liz 28XX, and she posted the Valentine's Day menu from the Yachtsman
That's
Steakhouse
nice.
in Walt Disney
She took
World.
him out for Valentine's Day. That's
Yes,
sweet.
right here in Orlando.
That's
That
sweet.
is a fancy schmancy restaurant.
What, the Yachtsman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
That's a pretty nice Valentine's Day thing.
That's cool.
And then Sherry J 8403, she threw out the idea altogether of going out. Not
This
even
one
locally.
kinda- I wanted to see. It was okay. Tell her what it was.
Okay, they threw out the idea of going out to a restaurant. They decided to do a romance at home, which is a little bit what we're going to
you
be
see
talking
this
about
picture?
today. And her and her fiance had a steak dinner at home, but her fiance cooked the steaks in a heart shape. So
We only saw the raw meat. We didn't see the finished.
yeah, we didn't see the finished product. We saw the raw meat cooking in the pan, but
That's because their emotions are raw.
you know, it was-
Oh wow! Oh my gosh!
the symbolism somehow we
Yeah.
missed it.
Wow.
But anyway, so that kind of goes along a little bit of what we were going to be talking about today, and that is bringing the romance home, but still relating it to your Disney trip. Because as I said before, I tried to say before, Disney fans often want to connect with their upcoming trip, long before it happens and even far after it's gone. So
Keep the magic alive.
Exactly. So, the first thing that needs to happen when you're doing that is you try to bring some of the romantic elements of your trip home with you. So, with that, what do you think are the most romantic parks?
Well, we obviously had talked about this. I think the Magic Kingdom's romantic because there's a castle. Mm-hmm. And what's in the castle? The prince and I don't know. I just Magic Kingdom's my favorite, and I just think it's romantic.
It's all love and
It's all
war
about love and
castles and dragons
all the warm
and
fuzzy feelings, and yeah.
I can definitely see that. For me, and I might get some flack on this, and I might even give myself some flack on this because it's not my favorite park, but Hollywood Studios, just when you think about the restaurants that are there, they're these very like classic restaurants that inspire romance. I think the Hollywood Brown Derby can be very romantic.
It's a very romantic
Mama
period.
Melrose's Italian could be very romantic. I'm not saying that just traveling around the parks through the day would be a particularly romantic thing, especially with all the
there's
construction.
spots.
Yeah, but
yeah,
there's
we're talking about the elements that
Yeah.
are in the park. So that's actually really
Yeah.
perfect. Makes sense. It's a very glamorous, romantic period in
Exactly.
time that kind of takes you back. That makes sense.
Yeah.
For me, it's Epcot. There's just something about World Showcase. I get really caught up in the idea of going to exotic places, and with most of the pavilions in Epcot, those are places I've never been. So that's kind of as close as I've gotten to taking a trip there. And I love it. I love the idea of visiting somewhere else, especially with someone else and sharing that experience. So that's kind of a biggie for me.
I also think that the 6-foot wingspan giant fruit bats at Animal Kingdom are particularly romantic.
If you're into vampires, maybe.
Exactly.
Wow. Where would you find that?
Well, you would find that at the Maharaja Jungle Trail.
Oh, that would be why I've never seen it.
I think someone's been watching Twilight.
Cool.
So, what about resorts, though? I mean, Disney's not just the parks, and in some ways, even more romantic elements can be found in the resorts. So, what is your take on that?
I like Old Key West because of the color scheme that screams. I don't know. I just think it's romantic.
You like
Okay.
Grandma's pink
Coral bathroom.
coral bathroom?
You judging me?
Maybe
I
her
loved my
grandma
grandma.
was very
I
romantic.
loved my grandma. I spent a lot of time in that bathroom. I don't know. I just like the color scheme, and I like the architecture. I think is soothing to the eye, and
I agree with that.
I just find it.
For me, and we kind of talked about this with our 7 and 7 coverage. I would go with the Polynesian when it's finished at its current state. It's still under construction and stuff like that. But when it's finally finished, I think it's just a beautiful resort to walk around, take a stroll. There's plenty of places to go. Watch the fireworks and have a nice dinner and stuff like that. So I'd choose the Polynesian, I think.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. And I think maybe what you're both coming at from different angles is the idea of comfort and relaxation that comes along with romance. For Old Key West, for example, we do talk about this in the 7 and 7, but there's something about that resort that just makes you kind of feel cozy and want to bond with the people that you're with. Polly is just, it's lush landscaping and hammocks on the beach and, fireworks and all that other stuff. For me, my resorts that I think of as being the most romantic on Disney property are maybe a little bit more boisterous. I love the boardwalk. I love it. Talking about periods in time, I think that time, that era,
Sure.
and that atmosphere really says romance to me. The idea of walking the boardwalk in the evening with someone is
Birds diving at you.
well, minus the dive bombing, seagulls or whatever they are. But, the buskers and the fun and the excitement of all of it, it's just, and then I love the rooms. Again, the color scheme speaks to me. But then, funny enough, another one that I feel is so completely romantic is the Animal Kingdom Lodge. Right up there. That actually is my favorite resort in all of Disney property. It just, again, maybe it hangs on to that idea of taking me somewhere else, traveling somewhere else. The animals out on the safari, in the back of your room. And then the restaurants themselves, Boma and Sanaa, are just really fantastically done. And the food, I love the music. Something about the music speaks to me in a, romance way. Everything about it, I just love it. Well, moving on, Disney movies is a big one. That'd be a huge place to draw romantic elements from. So what do you
To
think?
bring into your home and to your.
I
to
know the
recreate.
immediate one right off the bat, off the top of my head, Up. The Disney Pixar Up. Even the whole movie itself is not romantic, but the first like 5 or 10 minutes of it is incredible. It's the story of the main character and his wife,
Ellie and Carl.
Yeah, and then everything throughout the rest of the movie is his dealing with his loss of his wife and
Yeah.
That just, wow, you had to bring that up.
Oh, and then when they play that montage, of them growing
the
up
years,
together
yeah.
until when he finally. Oh, yeah, that's so true. Like
gosh,
nothing.
Dustin.
Wow, that you hit that
Okay,
on the
let's
head.
just end the show right now.
Well, what about you?
On a more upbeat note, Enchanted,
Okay.
because okay, so she's coming from a cartoon, animated, and she's coming into the real world, and she's so innocent and just so sweet and just so
Naive.
naive. I love that. And you can see the people she touches throughout the movie, and I just think she's sweet. And when she whips that dress out of that curtain, boy, it's
Pretty impressive.
pretty impressive.
You go, girl.
And the little bugs are clean, and I want that. That's romantic.
For me, one of the most romantic movies, I think, is Tangled. I like
That's
this.
a good one.
I love the spunkiness of the characters in this movie. They're not so stereotypical, Cinderella being the helpless maid that loses her slipper and is, being held hostage by her evil stepmother. Rapunzel is not so victimized, and she's pretty spunky. But who I really think gets it is Flynn Rider. At the end, when he's telling her, "You were my dream," oh my gosh, I will cry every single time. Every single time.
Wow.
That gets me. Yeah.
Can I add something in here to what I consider? I don't know if I could call it the least romantic Disney movie, but it's the saddest ending to what should be a romantic movie. Is Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh yes.
He is totally in the friend zone by the end of that. He's so into Esmeralda, and then what's his face, the big guy with the muscles and the
Yes.
sword ends up getting the girl, and they're like, yeah, we're still friends, and you
That's
stole the girl of my
sad.
dreams, but we'll be a weird little family, and
And like
It's
each
okay.
other.
That's probably
Yeah.
more like real life than anything,
Yeah.
though.
It's true. It's true. Well, talking about characters, what about Disney characters? Which ones do you feel would be the most romantic Disney characters?
why don't you go first, JL?
Yeah, you go first.
Well, I've talked about Flynn Rider. I mean, I just swoon over that cartoon character. If I could pick one to be with, it's Flynn Rider all the way.
To be with.
Yeah, like
Okay, I'm not going in that direction.
say I'm a cartoon character and I have to get coupled with someone. I'm gonna pick Flynn Rider. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. He's fantastic.
Wow.
He's dynamic enough to. He's not boring.
I'd pick Goofy for the laughs, probably. It'd always be fun.
Well, I think that's another episode, Teresa.
You're the one that went there, not me.
Well, we're talking about romantic characters. I just feel like Flynn Rider is the most romantic because he goes through all of that and then he comes to the end and he tells her, "You were my dream," and it's just like, oh.
Okay,
But
I'm going
I'll-
to stick with Giselle because she's just naive and sweet, and I don't want to be coupled with her. But I just think she's just so sweet.
I don't have an answer for this. I'm sorry. I did, however, think of a really good joke that I will tell you after the show.
Okay.
Hey, I love good
Off the air.
off the air jokes.
But you know
Those
what?
are fun.
What do you think about Philip, though? He's so protective of Aurora, and he goes and he fights a dragon.
Yeah, that's a little over the top. Though.
Yeah,
That's pretty romantic.
I can't pull that into my home though.
I find protectiveness extremely romantic. And
Yeah, but what did he
Yeah, but
do?
that
He
makes you
he
weak.
danced with her once. I mean,
Yeah,
what? I don't know.
yeah.
all right, so
He's too small for his
their
body.
love story is a little weak, but that doesn't make him less romantic. He's still reacting very strongly and protectively. All right, well,
Moving on. I like. Yeah, okay.
you know what? We were talking about the Magic Kingdom because you think that's the most romantic part, but there are more elements to that than just the castle. there is the castle, but how would we begin to apply these things in our life at home? You know, bringing it. You can't have a castle sitting in the middle of your
Put up
house.
a big scrim. Like the castle around the bedroom. Twinkling lights, the music.
Okay.
You can set the mood, even the color scheme, if you want to go that far.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, you could design your bedroom like the hotel rooms
Yeah,
in like the
exactly.
Polynesian or
Ooh,
something.
yeah.
you know?
That would be a really
That would
good
be
one.
cool.
So we've got twinkling lights that can be brought in to kind of reference the castle music you were saying.
Music, yeah.
You brought in a lot of quotes from the songs, the soundtracks of the films.
Yeah.
A lot of them are pretty romantic.
You can make a mixtape.
That's right.
A mixtape of
Little
all your
mix of-
favorite romance songs.
Disney romance.
Have Barry White sing them. Okay. Well,
In talking about Epcot, you know, my thing was World Showcase. So a way that could have been brought in was maybe with food or
Sure.
music itself. I find the music in Impressions de France, or however you say it,
Oui.
that movie. I love the music from that movie. I find it incredibly romantic. So playing something like that in the background would be subtle, or I don't know. If you're into the UK, start playing British invasion music. I don't know. Also, I thought, you know, the cultural experiences that you have when you're in Epcot, going from country to country, maybe that could be translated. You know, when you're at home, go out and do a wine tasting, and it might not mean as much. It would mean something different for a non-Disney fan, but for a Disney fan, well, you know, you feel like you're kind of touching France a little bit there, you know, or
Even more romantic, light a couple candles and have a wine tasting at home with your significant
see,
other.
there you go. In China, I
Or
thought,
with your pet.
no spoilers.
I'm gonna cry.
What about like something like kite flying? That's
Oh yeah.
because
What?
they make kites in China,
Like in Mary Poppins.
and like in Mary Poppins, things like that. You know, you get creative, walking through gardens. You know, like you do in the
I
World
do that all the
Showcase.
time.
Yeah, and then fireworks
At home.
at home. We're not advocating pyrotechnics here in a literal sense,
Sparklers
but
and
you can watch these things on YouTube. You know, put them up on your TV and enjoy them from the comfort of home. I know people that do this, okay? We're talking
are
about
they happy in their life?
well, that's probably a whole other discussion.
Okay.
What
No,
about
this is cool.
going back to the resorts? The bedrooms, Dustin, you had actually mentioned that recreating the resorts and the bedrooms in the resorts. Which ones would you pick? Which ones do you think would be the most romantic?
Well, I definitely think the Polynesian is unique. That's the one that stands out the most.
So
to
not
me.
just the resort as a whole, you think the room as well.
Yeah. Oh, is that not what you were asking?
I'm talking about specifically about the bedrooms.
Okay. In your home.
Not yours. If you were to recreate, good Lord, if you were to recreate a Disney resort bedroom,
Okay.
suite, whatever, in your home to bring Disney into your home,
Yeah.
you following?
Yeah.
What would it be?
And it would look just like the bedroom that was.
No, you would bring elements of it in. You know how some people,
Bamboo or
you know, when some people are being romantic and they sprinkle the bed with rose petals or they light candles, like
no
what?
stain. Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Okay.
No, I don't.
Buzzkill. Anyway, when you're thinking of the resorts, what elements would you bring in?
I would. Okay, if that's the case, first of all, yeah, I would love to just have a bedroom that's rethemed like Polynesian. Just hands
Period.
down. Anyway, we get that. Right? All right. I would also incorporate elements, like you said, of the boardwalk. I think that would be really cool. One thing that I would not put in there in a bedroom, if it was a romantic setting, would be those creepy chairs that are in the lobby. That surely would not make an appearance in a romantic setting. But the rest of the boardwalk, I think, would be a good theme for me.
What about you, Teresa?
Oh, I don't know. I think Treehouse Villas.
Oh,
Just
that's
for
a
the-
good one.
Just because it's secluded,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Yeah, when you are in the Treehouse Villas, you just feel so tucked away and in your own
bring in
little
a bunch
world.
of ficus trees in your room. I don't know.
But But that's a good idea. That would be one if you can get really creative and imitate it in some ways. I'm totally in
Mickey's
agreement.
everywhere.
I'm totally in agreement with that one. I also thought the Grand Floridian. I mean, that is just
the redone rooms, right? Not the old ones.
yes.
What other elements?
With other elements.
Yeah, you know, the whole
Romantic
Victorian,
Victorian era.
Yeah,
okay,
romantic
cool. I can
Victorian.
live with that.
Yeah. Then we've also got for a moderate resort, the French Quarter and Riverside tend to be pretty romantic places. You know, Riverside it has the whole, this is not going to come out sounding right, but that's what they call it, the plantation house. And, you know, the big water wheel that they have and things there are just really pretty lovely.
Pretty lovely.
Pretty lovely.
Alrighty.
Okay.
What's next on your list there?
Well, you know, there's other things that are at Disney. The lobbies, the Wilderness Lodge lobby is pretty romantic with its fireplace and the rocking chairs.
I do like that. And there's little nooks and crannies where, you know,
Yeah.
Big,
it's romantic.
big plush armchairs and
going to that
love
resort
seats.
makes me feel like winter and
coziness.
and
You just kind of automatically go to that romantic spot in your head. And then another thing that they do at Disney, you know, spa treatments.
Yeah.
Yeah? No? That's right. You're
No,
not.
it's romantic, I
It
guess,
is.
if that's what you like.
You could recreate those at home. We won't go into detail about that, but you know,
yeah.
it's something that could happen.
Okay, bring it on.
What about movie scenes? What do you guys feel like are the most romantic movie scenes?
that you could bring into your
Disney?
home, like recreating,
Well,
acting out? What?
to get inspiration from.
Well, I'd say the Lady and the Tramp spaghetti scene is really good.
I think Teresa would be in agreement with you.
I do. I like that. It's, yeah. I think it's just sweet. I mean, romance to me is sweet and innocent, and I mean, it can be the other, you know, wild and crazy too. But that doesn't scream Disney to me because you
Yeah.
don't see a lot of that at Disney.
Teresa, are you ready for this one?
No, I'm what?
I'm gonna bring another scene that might melt you away.
Okay.
In 101 Dalmatians, what is the girl dog Perdita?
Yeah.
Is giving birth to all the babies, and one of them they think didn't make it. They
Oh
think
gosh,
the
I
baby
remember
didn't
that.
make it.
You're gonna make me cry.
Right. And then Roger rubs his hands on the baby and it comes back to life, and Pongo and Perdita share a little doggy kiss and hold the puppy in their paws because they love each other and they have a newborn child.
They do, neglecting the other 98. Oh, that's so sweet. That I've forgotten about that.
And he becomes Lucky the dog.
Yep.
Yep. I guess
Oh,
that's
that's
pretty
lucky.
Yep. It's a
I
true
thought you
story.
meant Pongo was Pongo got lucky because he already had the puppy.
Well,
Never mind.
all right.
So we
Other
need to get off
elements
this.
from Disney scenes, things that you can do. You know, now they give ballroom lessons these days, right?
You know, that actually is on my bucket list to take
Yeah?
dancing lessons, like ballroom dancing. I don't want to be dressed up like a princess or anything.
You don't want to dress like Cinderella and
No,
she's
I would
going
be
to
more
the gown with
fairy
the ball with
godmother
her
out
gown.
there with her little cape on. But that is on my list. I like that.
Okay.
I find that interesting.
Yeah, so ballroom dancing lessons to go dancing that could be taken from Cinderella,
Mm-hmm.
or, you know, what about Aurora's Walk in the Forest? That's where she meets Philip.
You're on this Philip thing. He didn't do a lot. What, I mean,
He fought a flipping dragon.
Good for him.
It's a pretty big deal.
okay. I need to
Okay,
revisit
sorry.
that movie. Okay.
Well, anyway, but taking walks, especially walks in the forest, that's romantic.
It is romantic.
A little bit scary as well, but romantic nevertheless. What about Ariel swimming with Eric? Granted, when it was because she was saving him from a
That is romantic. So you could go swimming.
death by
Swimming,
drowning.
right?
Swimming. You know, if you want to make it really exciting, you can get a mermaid tail, but
People do it. Okay.
you know, whatever floats your boat.
It also helps if you're the guy, you're not, dying in that situation.
Yeah.
That helps it to be a little more romantic.
I'm going down. And she's got to come over in her little flipper tail and try to pull him out of the pool. Nah.
Like I said,
That's
just
just a
stick with
disaster.
inspiration,
Okay.
maybe not, out and out recreation.
She married a murderer. Do you realize this? He
sorry?
impaled a sea witch with a ship in
As
the
he should have.
stomach.
Just like
Murderer.
Philip slaying the dragon. You guys are missing this. Gracious. All right. Anyway, Belle. What about Belle? She's helping Beast to clean up his act. That whole thing about, trying to get him to have manners at the table
Yeah.
and cutting his hair.
I've been working on that for 27 years.
Yeah, he
and
needs
it's
to
still
shave,
not
too.
working. He does need to shave.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Little
from
man.
that you got as a couple, romance-wise, you can go out and have a pampering day if the guys.
You're going to say you go out and he can be a beast at the table and you can be embarrassed.
I'll tell you one thing about
That probably happens sometimes.
One thing about Beauty and the Beast that I do like is that it actually does have a good lesson compared to Aurora and Philip, who just killed a dragon for a girl. It's about finding inner beauty and finding
Yes.
the love for somebody else, for the person that they
Yes.
really are. It's not.
You're so
It's
deep.
not about looks, and it's not about attraction.
is.
It's not about giving true love's kiss and waking them up. In the middle of the forest in a glass coffin.
and then realizing you have no
yeah.
idea who they really are as a
Right.
person. No, I totally
Right, they
that.
get to Belle and Beast or Adam get to know each other, in a really difficult circumstance, and they fall in love with each other. It's nice.
I know there is so much more to
It's a
their
nice story.
their love story. There's a lot more depth there. What about Lightning McQueen and Mustang Sally?
Yeah,
The car
I
strolling.
don't understand how any of that works.
Well, they liked each other and they went for a romantic stroll.
They were cars.
Yeah, but you could just get in a car and go, stroll down Route 66 or whatever it is.
Good Lord,
Radiator
she's reaching.
Springs.
Okay.
I'm reaching a little
You
bit,
paint
but
my
hey,
Malibu red and take Kelvin out for a spin.
some exciting things can happen in cars. It can be romantic.
Okay, all right.
You had an idea about Robin Hood.
Okay, let's not go with that last one on the list. We skip that altogether. Okay. You're talking about bringing elements of Disney into your home, right? Why can't we dress up like the characters, right? Not,
Because there's a whole thing for that.
I know. But I'm thinking,
There's a subculture that exists.
Especially if you're referring to things like
Disney.
Animals
Keep it
like
clean,
Simba
people.
and
keep,
Nala.
Keep it clean, people. Okay. Are you ready, Dustin? Get over to your controls, because here's the deal.
I'm working.
Okay.
Why?
Talking about all of this makes me, and okay, we're talking about dressing up as characters and stuff, but there's this whole Disney bounding thing.
Yeah. Why don't you explain to us what
That
Disney
was-
bounding is?
That was a subculture I was referring to, by the way. Nothing. else.
Oh, yeah. Glad we clarified.
Clarified that.
Because Disney bounding subculture, that's definitely
Mr.
what we
West,
were
Mr.
talking
West.
about.
Okay. Anyway, it's where you take the elements from the characters, the color scheme or whatever, and you wear these in your everyday life. And there is was it disneybound.tumblr.com? Mm-hmm. Amazing. It's very interesting.
Yes. So this woman had this idea, like you were saying, to design fashions and looks with the inspiration of the characters. A lot of times the colors are brought into it. Sometimes other elements, whether it's ruffles or buttons
Collars.
or collars or whatever it is.
And let me just throw this out there. This is different from cosplay or dressing up like the characters for
Right.
Halloween. This is, like you said, this is
Actual
taking-
everyday wear.
Right. It's everyday wear, but it's almost like an impressionist version of the characters. It's taking certain elements and certain designs and certain colors and putting them into, like Teresa's wearing a hoodie right now. If that hoodie was a certain color, then she could be the character of Belle or
Right.
something like that.
Yeah, or
You know?
like if her shirt was purple and her jacket was teal, we would infer that she was Disney bounding as Ariel.
We need to do this.
All right.
Well, which ones do you think are Disney bound worthy? I see Snow White in the park all the time. People wearing the Snow White
Right,
colors.
Snow White. Well, this isn't necessarily romantic, but you see obviously the Mickey colors and the Donald and all of that. But then when I was looking at this website, there was one, and it was all in brown, shades of brown, and it was like Bambi or something. I mean, it was just they take the colors and and the textures of the fabric, and
You can bring it in with your makeup. You can bring it in with the way that you style your hair. You can bring it in
Exactly.
with the
so
clothing.
you can definitely do this at home.
Yeah, and the thing that I love about it is it's subtle. It's not so like obnoxiously
Yeah.
in your face. I'm dressing up with Ariel with seashells.
Which is what you would do, right? Or that
Well,
was something else.
Yeah, but the problem I have with the Bambi one, it's just like, okay, you're wearing brown, so you're Bambi. I like the ones that at least insinuate like the colors at the appropriate portions of your body, like
Right.
Snow White wears, what is it, a red top and a yellow dress, or
with the blue, with the
blue.
royal blue. Yeah.
yeah,
the blue top and the yellow
You know,
bottoms.
she's wearing the right color pants and the right color shirt,
Right.
and
Right.
it matches. Where Bambi would just be like, I'm wearing brown, I'm Bambi.
Right. When you see when you see a girl walking around in a blue tank with bright sunshine yellow shorts and then she has a red bow in her hair, you know, even though
Right.
she's not dressed as Snow White, that she's Disney bounding
Snow White.
as Snow White.
And we will have a link to this Tumblr account
Because this is
in
this
the show
is
notes.
fascinating. It just
And it actually has become a thing, and you're seeing it more and more. It's really popular in California near Disneyland. So
we need to make it more popular here because I just think it's the funnest thing.
these are all different ways that you can recreate these romantic elements of Disney and bring them into your home. And in line with that, we had Teresa make an attempt at recreating romance in her home.
I make this attempt every year, and it just okay. So my goal was to recreate the spaghetti eating scene from Lady and the Tramp. We don't have an alley out back, and I didn't have a dude named Tony serving us, but so I made the spaghetti. I set the table. I had the music ready to cue up, but it didn't happen, and the result was my husband didn't show up because he had to get ready for work. So, Dustin, show us what I did.
Roll the tape.
All right.
Roll the tape. Okay, I'm getting ready to go into the grocery store to get the needed items for my romantic Valentine dinner. I'm going to fix Calvin. I'm going to try to recreate the spaghetti scene from Lady and the Tramp. It also happens to be the first meal that I cooked Calvin, I think, in the summer of 1985. He came to my apartment, and I fixed him spaghetti. Unbeknownst to me, years later, I found out he hates spaghetti, but he's getting it tonight anyway. Okay, I thought I could do this in the parking lot here, but people were just, damn, what? Yeah, I'm filming something here. Move on. Nothing to watch. Move on. Okay, so, yeah, maybe I should have parked farther out from the store. But anyway, gonna get the fixins for some spaghetti. Oh, that's Southern fixins. I don't want to say that. Cut that out. Anyway, I'm all over the place here. I'm gonna go. I want to do this. Jenny Lynn, you owe me big time. Because. Okay, anyway, I'm heading in the store. Gonna get some pasta and some vino. Klaus, look at mommy. Good God.
So Klaus ended up being your date at the spaghetti dinner.
Yeah. Well, the girls were there too. They just didn't want to be sitting at the table with me.
Well, what were the elements that you did bring in to help
Well,
recreate
obviously
it?
the spaghetti. We had a nice bottle of wine, which I enjoyed by myself because Klaus doesn't drink. And, candle, just, it was a little music. It would have worked.
Yeah.
If I
What
would've
was
had-
the music you were going to play?
I like anything Dean Martin. Like that's, and I like the music from, what is it, Bella Notte from the actual movie?
Yeah,
It's
Bella
sweet.
Notte,
It's,
Lady and the Tramp.
Any kind of Italian music from the 40s. I love that stuff.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
Would have been romantic.
It would have been
right?
great. You just kind of were
Had to lacking the
the partner there.
He enjoyed leftovers the next day. So
Who, Klaus?
Kelvin.
Oh, okay.
Klaus ate at the table like a big boy.
This actually brings us into an interesting topic, which we'll briefly touch on and possibly discuss further in another episode at another time. But, the idea of being absent with a partner. If you're a Disney fan, paired with a non-Disney fan, often it feels that way because you don't share that connection. So does this type of thing work? Does it work for a Disney fan to be coupled with a non-Disney fan?
Gosh, is this therapy?
Lay it out.
Does it work? It can work. But
Yes.
I know there's people out there like that, including myself. I love Disney. Kelvin likes a good Disney movie, and he likes to go to the parks occasionally, but it's not at the top of his list. It's not in the top 20 of his list. But he tolerates it. Is that the word I want to use? Tolerate? I don't know.
Well,
You don't want to shove it down their throat.
exactly. Dustin, did you want to weigh in?
Not really.
Well, I can talk from experience here. I actually was married to a non-Disney fan, and I'm a huge Disney fan. Can it work? I think that it can. It did not in my case.
But not because of
not
Disney.
because
Yeah,
of
put that out there.
Disney. No, definitely not because of Disney. There was other issues there. But, in saying that, it definitely had a role just because Disney was that important to me. And we were not able to meet on that ground. He also would, tolerate it. But in that, a feeling of tolerance isn't very romantic. So, it made for some difficulty, but yeah, it can be doable. And I was hoping we could discuss maybe some of the ways that a Disney fan can appeal to their non-Disney partner without annoying them, feeding the Disney side, to use their, campaign this year, without repelling the other person.
That's their campaign, feeding the Disney side?
No, Disney side.
Oh.
Showing your Disney side
sounded
is the
kinda-
campaign. Well, my point is, appealing to your need to have those
have it in
elements
your life,
in
yeah.
your life without annoying the person who would rather not.
Well, I'll tell you this. If you have somebody in your life that is not so into Disney, and you want to either have Disney somehow in your personal life, or you actually want to travel to Disney World, then you need to find the things that appeal to them within Disney. It's that halfway mark. Where does your love for Disney and whatever their interests are, where do they meet? And finding that halfway mark.
They meet at Flower and Garden
Yeah.
at my house.
That's
Yeah.
a good one for you. I really think that you nailed it on the head, Dustin. Like, that just kind of sums it all up in a very nice, tidy statement. And that was one of the reasons why, one of the ways in which, my marriage to the non-Disney fan did work, because when we would take our Disney vacations, I made sure to incorporate the things that he did enjoy about being there. He just did not like the parks. He didn't really enjoy them. He liked the resorts. So we made sure that we always stayed on property. He also liked us setting aside a date night while we were there and having a romantic dinner while we were there. So, those types of things made it work, helped it work anyway. I also think that when you're at home and you're needing to bring in those elements at home, subtlety is critical. We talked about, maybe don't come dressed out as Belle, or, well, I don't know, maybe you do want to come dressed out as Belle or Slave Leia or whatever it is, but being more subtle, about how you approach it, or things that you put up in your home. Don't make it look like you're vomiting Disney all over the place.
Well, that would be my office. My little corner of the world has all the tchotchkes that he only has to see if he looks that way. The rest of the house has there might be a few things in color scheme. Well, wait a minute, the girls' bathroom is all Disney, but he didn't have to go in there if he didn't want to.
Well, this is
You have it confined to certain spaces
certain
so that
spaces,
he
yeah.
has room to
Right.
not feel like it's, being shoved down his throat all the
This is the
time.
problem I have living alone, is if you walk into my house, I love two things, Disney and Star Wars. It's just, as you said, it's been vomited all over the house.
Okay, well, we'll have to work on that if you ever get
Yeah.
paired with a non-Disney person.
Exactly.
Well, anyway, I think that's going to wrap it up for this week. However, for those of you that are socially challenged, we have an assignment for you. Last week, we sent you to Instagram. This week, we are sending you back. We want you to, we discussed Disney bounding today. right? So we would like to see your attempts or successes at Disney bounding and post a picture to us on Instagram
or Facebook page.
or
Can we do
Facebook
both?
or a face. Yeah, you can do both. If you're not on Instagram, then put it up on Facebook.
Let's give them an option this week.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Okay, Instagram or Facebook, pick one. We want to see your pictures of you Disney bounding. Pull out your best Disney inspiration and go for it.
That's it, right?
I think so. Just make sure.
Next.
But when you're on, they got to do our hashtag so we can find it.
Oh, yeah.
Tag us on Instagram. It'd be Diz the Trip. At Diz the Trip on Instagram. Hashtag love the trip. That's
Love the trip.
That's our hashtag for the month. Wow, that was a really clumsy way to get through all
That was just really crappy. Okay. Next week, we've got an episode of Dustin Does. And
Oh boy.
Yeah.
What are we doing, Teresa?
we're not telling you yet,
Okay.
Dustin. It's all going to be a big ball of surprise. There will
Wonderful.
be no bounding, though.
Oh, come on.
Okay. No. Okay. Anyway.
might.
All right. So until next week.
Trip out.
I'm on videoing, but. Hang on. Klaus? Oh, my. Okay, you need to move. Well, he says to Klaus. Too late. Okay, anyway, I'm heading in the store. Gonna get some pasta and some vino. As soon as the guy in the car next to me leaves, because he's sitting there staring at me, staring at the phone, talking to myself. So okay, bye.